Pew 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 pew.
Pew 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 pew.
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, Big Bear Nation?
What's up, nation? How is everybody doing tonight?
How's everybody enjoying this break in the heat? Because I know just about everybody's got it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and a lot of us are getting some.
Come on over here. Let's keep our love on.
A lot of us are getting some.
Getting some rain.
Yeah,
rain.
We got some rain.
Rain. Itsy bitsy spider.
Ursa Major.
Went up the water spout. What?
Two family. Imagine that. You have crochet needles in your hand. They're hooks. I'm a hooker. I mean, I'm a crochet hooker. I'm a happy.
Overload Valley says, can't believe we don't have the game on. Well, right now, football is the furthest thing
from
our mind. Even though Ladessa looked it up, and it seems like Georgia's getting a little spanking from Tennessee, out of all people. This is what happens when you go into a game cocky, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Football is on the very bottom.
Go Dogs! There you go.
Of my priority.
Yeah, it's chilly right now here. It's probably in the 60s.
I'm sleeping with the windows open, box fan in the window, blowing up the whoopee, and I will get a good night's sleep tonight. Fat Man is excited.
Well, all day today we've been with no AC. Turn everything.
Can you put that scratch right in there somewhere? Like in Maine.
In Maine? Like right in here?
Yeah, go ahead and go down to the New England states. How about using them big Freddy Krueger fingernails you got? Come on now. Oh, yeah, hit Jersey. Ooh, go over to PA. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, loving the dirty South.
Oh my God, I'm out. I'm done. Yeah, it is time to cut my. Hey, bee lady. I have to cut my.
Bee lady. You know, we used to know a channel lady up in New York.
Mm-hmm. She said something about she was going to come and visit us at some point. But
yeah. I don't know. Maybe they just disappeared.
Maybe you two should turn the camera off.
Yeah. I don't know. She was here 1 minute and gone the next.
Guys, we are... Yeah, it is close to manicure time. Abby's Kitchen! What is up? She's just like her daddy. Hi, Miss Robin. She got that from her daddy.
So...
Yeah, if I was the manicuring type, it would be manicure time. Instead, it's just going to be file them down and shape them up time. Take off from here November 1st. Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys know, Robin and I have been trying to keep our love on. Right?
Yeah.
Keep our love. Oh. The other book is in the house. I forgot to bring it out. Message a kid. But.
Oh, somebody wants to see what I'm making. I can show you, but it's not really gonna really do you anything right now. I'll tell you what. I will go get one that I have finished, and I'll get the book.
Okay, thank you. High five.
High five for keeping the love on.
Whoa!
What?
Dragon's Talon.
What?
Thank you so much. $50 super chat. Last week we had Robin as Rosie Riveter. Tonight we have Jason as Samurai Sam. Or is that Yosemite Sam? You know, after the day that we had around here in Dragons, I think I may be closer to Yosemite Sam. Because let me tell y'all something. Can I be real with y'all for a minute? Can I be real and like I'm always real, but can I be like super rip my chest open real and be that that bearing reel, rip the chest open, let you see inside reel.
Who was it that...
Are we having a baby?
Why?
Because this bee lady keeps asking if we're having a baby.
What? We're not having a baby?
Because if we're having a baby, we got to, like, this is like completely derailed me now. Because like I'm like, I cannot. I mean, I'm 45. I mean, I don't know.
Like guts and glory reel or pizza extra cheese reel.
Like pizza, I guess guts. It's a mixture of both.
What were you saying while I was gone?
I was not talking about us having a baby.
Wendy Phillips, finally made it alive. I heard it's an amazing book from Anna. She said y'all told her and poor boy should get it too. Yes.
Yes, and they got it.
Okay, real quick before we get into all that. This is what... So this, I'm working on this pink thing. But when I'm done... Yeah, you model it. Yeah. Okay, so... I don't know if it'll look good on you. Well, it will look good on you. Here we go. Yes, you're so beautiful. Look at you. Yeah. No, it won't look as good on you. But it's a shawl. His shoulders are really wide, so it's not going to look as good on him. But it goes.
I know Carol looks
kinda
just
like,
beautiful in it.
Oh, I can't reach it. So it goes across the shoulders and keeps, so. And it's really, you can't see it, but trust me when I tell you that you have to be really careful because you'll end up doing this a lot because it's really soft. So, anyway. Francine is the one that got us the books, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it is. Is it a prayer shawl? No.
Okay, how is that? Can you guys hear us better now?
Can you crank up the volume? Several, including myself, can barely hear it. Yeah, see it that? Does that help? Bee Lady, I'm glad.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
Yeah, we just had it cranked down, I guess.
I must have bumped it.
It's a baby shawl. That's not even funny. Anyway, so I have them in different colors because I've got the purple and then I've got this green one. I have a really pretty indigo blue color, and then there's a really pretty, like, it's a really light green. And so I'm making a bunch of these to be able to sell at the conference, and then whatever we don't sell at the conference, we will have on the website.
And just do giveaways. Just give them away.
I'm not giving these away.
Then you can
They
buy
take
more
a
yarn.
lot of time.
Then you can buy more yarn.
Right, but if I buy more yarn, I have to have the money to buy the yarn.
I'm like your pusher over here. Okay, the books that we're talking about is Keep Your Love On. Now this one I got from the library, but Miss Francine bought us a copy of this and the 5 Love Languages.
Yes, by Dr.
So this one's going back to the library on Monday. Now we were introduced
Library.
introduced to these books by Jess and Jeremiah from Roots and Refuge. And Robin and I both have a copy of Keep Your Love On, and we started reading them.
Appalachian Mercantile, no, I don't think we're going to make it to Stivers. Money's just going to be, by the time we get done with the conference, we're going to have to put the lockdown on money for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Amy. So probably not. But to ship one of these is not going to be expensive because it doesn't weigh much. So, it...
Yeah, the HOA is our last travel arrangements unless we have a family emergency or something along that line, because we have to lock our finances down because we still got to put a chimney in for our wood burning stove.
Yeah, we don't have that yet.
Getting cold. We were gifted when our oven went out. We were gifted an oven, and we are still trying to run down the parts to be able to switch it from propane back to natural gas.
Yeah.
And we finally got a hold of somebody that's doing it, and so we gotta
But
put the
it's
money
like
aside.
$85 before we even do shipping to get it done. So.
And so we got to lock everything down so that way we can get the oven in and then get the thing on. So unfortunately, we will not be able to make stivers this year, which really stinks because we kind of wanted to support them.
All you do is flip the valve. No, this was it was originally a natural gas oven, and the person had it switched over to propane, so they had to change the orifice openings for them. Yeah. So we have to and they unfortunately did not save those orifices when they changed them over. So the person that gifted it to us didn't have them. So we need to get them to be able to replace them. So that's basically where we're at. I mean, we'll get it. It's just a matter of being able to balance a couple things to be able to do it. So
it's not. We're not at the selling our children for
for a valve or for
food or anything.
No,
but we just kind of looked at the budget and we said, okay, that's expendable. And so,
and unfortunately, after the thing with the conferences, wait, do you have them, Teresa? I mailed them to you in a package. If she has them, then we might not have to buy them.
Huge, yeah.
I mean, we still got to lock everything down because really, at the end of the day,
that chimney's
we have got to get a chimney. It's going to cost us $1,000, and I sent them in a package.
We have not received.
They were in the envelope.
We have not received a package from you at all.
That bothers me now.
See, and that's one of the other things that we have to buy here pretty soon. We got to buy a new mailbox that locks, because a lot of our mail has been getting misplaced. Let's just say, keeping our love on. We're gonna say misplaced. But anyway, back to the book. Because I don't want to get down in all that negativity. I want to be positive. We got enough negativity on other stuff going around. with the book. And we were talking about becoming powerful people and keeping our love on and learning love languages and stuff like that last week. That's what we were talking about last week. That's basically the Cliff Notes for the Cliff Notes version of what we were talking about last week.
Right.
Well, let me be, like I said, I was going to rip my chest open and we're going to be real. Well, that kind of stuff has been put to the test this week. I mean, hardcore put to the test this week.
Yeah.
And I think
we've done okay. Yeah.
I can't say that we passed with flying colors. I think we got a passing grade.
But it's a work in progress, honestly.
In progress.
Especially like you were saying, because we were pillow talking. Was it last night or night before? No, it was probably night before last, because last night I was mad at you. But we were talking about it, and one thing that it points out is different types of communicators and different, powerful people, powerless people. And Jason said, if you're one way and it's not good, then if you've been doing that all your life, how hard is it going to be to change over? How can you go from...
Well, for example, in my house growing up, my dad was... And they break down the communicators as... and he uses the analogy of a T-Rex.
No, it was a certain type of T-Rex, wasn't it? Or no. No. Okay.
It was a T-Rex, a goat... or a chocolate-covered dragon.
Chocolate-covered dragon. I love it.
Basically, that was the T-Rex was an aggressive communicator. A goat was a passive communicator. And a chocolate-covered dragon was a passive-aggressive communicator.
Yep.
And in my household, in my growing up, my dad was a T-Rex. Okay?
He's still really, to this day, he still kind of has a lot of T-Rex.
He's got a lot of T-Rex in, but he's an old T-Rex.
Right.
And I ended up becoming a T-Rex communicator.
What's a no communicator? That's a goat.
And that section was kind of hard for me to read because it was very eye-opening for me to realize that I'm a T-Rex.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean to be a T-Rex. I don't want to be a T-Rex. But I am. Or I was. I kind of am, or anyway. I'm moving away from being a T-Rex.
His arms are growing.
I was like this. T-Rex doing a cabbage patch like this. Now that I'm growing as a communicator and my arms for my T-Rexness has come out like this, so now I can do the cabbage patch like this.
Did you see what Mary Hart said?
Mm-mm.
I would honestly say I'm a chocolate covered T-Rex. You need some T-Rexercise.
That's one. That's one. You got me there. That's one. That's one. Now, for those of you that don't know, Bassard Homestead and us play in each other's live streams. I go over to their live streams, and my entire goal for an hour is to see how many times I can make Miss Amy stop what she's doing, and usually she does this, or flat out get her to laugh.
Or spit up her tea, or something.
The last time they were on, I got her, 7 times? 8 times?
Was that the time that he was...
Yeah,
he wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was saying that, because he's not there, he's usually the buffer.
Yeah. And so then they come into our live stream and try to do the same thing. And so that's why I said, okay, that's one.
Right, like he said, it's all in good fun.
Yeah, it's all in good fun.
Look, if your motivation is to get somebody to laugh, you've got a thumbs up in my book.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just all there is to it. Mm-hmm. So, you know what?
Yeah.
Play on, playa. All right. I think I'm a mater-colored T-Rex.
So, the name of the book that I'm discussing is Keep Your Love On by Danny Silk.
He also has... Did I tell you he has a book for children?
I really want to talk about me being a T-Rex.
Okay, be a T-Rex.
I'm not trying to be a T-Rex, but
You're being a T-Rex right now.
I was
You're
trying...
being aggressive.
I was trying to be... You're being a chocolate-covered dragon right now.
Amy said that they got us twice. Got me twice already tonight.
Okay. Well, she doesn't count because she laughs at the word poop.
Well, no. See, because Brett said earlier it's not fair if I'm not reading the chat because I'm down paying attention to my stuff. So I started paying attention to the chat for y'all. Just saying.
Okay. So, and it was very hard for me to read and understand that I was a T-Rex.
It's hard when you're introspecting. That's really hard to, take a self-evaluation and go, wait, I'm not as awesome as I thought I was.
I thought, and what do they?
They're cheating. You told them that I don't like that I laugh at that word, and now it's taking every ounce of control I have.
There it is. Okay, that's what it was.
Sherry put in the poop emojis.
Right. I always thought that I was more assertive.
Right.
I thought I was more of an assertive communicator than I was a T-Rex.
Did they give that one something, or is it just assertive communicator?
That's what you want to be, as an assertive communicator.
Right, but it didn't have a little nickname like Chocolate Covered Dragon
no, it didn't
or
have a little
anything.
nickname. Don't look at the chat. They're doing poop stuff.
I see it.
Because I always, at least my intentions have always been to be, look, my feelings matter, my point of view matters, but so does yours. And it was very hard that when I really started reading the description of what a T-Rex was, I was kind of like, you're nowhere really near the assertive one.
Well, I think, and we talked about this because honestly, I feel like, I mean, we're 15 years deep, just about, you and I, and so I feel like when we're both not like trying to be, we're not arguing about something like super arguing, upset with each other. I think we're both very assertive communicators.
Yes, when
But
we're calm.
when there's a lot of emotion involved,
That's when I T-Rex out.
you
You know?
T-Rex out.
And that's one of the things that I come to learn about myself through this is I'm an emotional guy.
No. Emotional's not the right word. You are very passionate. That's the way
That's
I think
emotion.
Right, but what I'm saying is that you're so passionate about what you do and how you believe, like what you believe in, that when you're trying to convey that, whether it's the love for your child, hoping that he doesn't wreck a car, or if it's a daughter that's listening to music that isn't appropriate for her age or for anybody's age for that matter, the thing is that you're passionate about that, and so when you start to convey that, it comes out, and it's just passion is overriding, trying to be assertive. So,
And I'll be the first one to raise their hand and say, "Hey, you guys, if you guys have prayer walls or prayer lists or something like that, hey, put us on that, because since we did that live stream and we told you guys that we were vamping our lifestyle and how we were putting God first in our life, and that we were how can I say this? How do I say this? Help me. We were going through a awakening here. We were realizing that some of the things that we were taught about God and the way that it was supposed to be was not exactly true. And we started to look at the type of people that we were and how we wanted to grow in relationships with people, and how what God has really laid upon our hearts, that we started doing this. And of course, obviously, when you tell everybody and their brother that hey, we're asking for forgiveness because sometimes we've been a complete poo-poo head, and we haven't treated you with the utmost respect, or we haven't done right by you, and we want to live our life that's pleasing to the Lord. We you really awakening some things that got comfortable. And one of the things that the Lord spoke to me about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago,
probably about a month.
About a month ago, was tithing. It's about tithing. And Robin and I went, we didn't go rounds. We weren't fighting about it. But we weren't getting on the exact same page. And I've also been battling about trust. And trust is a very tricky thing. Because trust takes forever to earn and give, but it can be lost in a nanosecond. And when you start doing a lot of these evaluations, and you start looking at, have you been an honorable person? Have you been somebody that people can trust? And have you been that type of person that would even earn your own trust? That's when it gets real.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When you are able to look at yourself in the mirror and say,
thanks, Amy.
Can you trust you?
Right. Because if you can't trust yourself, then how do you expect anybody else to?
And one of my biggest epiphanies was to realize that I had not fully ripped my chest cavity open and said to God, here it is.
Hey, reap what you sow. What's up? Congratulations on your win tonight.
That I had it all up here in my grape, in my brain housing group, but I never let it transform down in to my heart fully, where I could say beyond a shadow of a doubt that I 100% trusted.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a thing happen.
Got the frog.
And my wall of Jericho come just tumbling down after it happened. And what I'm getting ready to share with you has absolutely nothing to do with money. Robin and I were discussing about tithing, and we could never get on the same page. And then Robin came to me, and she's basically said, it was early one morning, she was listening to a sermon.
I was on my way to Atlanta.
Who are you listening to?
Damon Thompson Ministries.
And she called me and she said, you're right, we need to.
Yay.
And so we did. Same 24-hour period.
Less than 12 hours.
Less than 8 hours. The 1 month the VA just did not pay me. Got a phone call that they found the mistake and that I'll be getting that payment in 3 to 5 days. And it happened in a way that there was absolutely no doubt to me. I was sitting right here and I began to weep. I began to cry. And I the words actually fell out of my mouth that I'm even a little bit embarrassed and a little bit I'm a little bit ashamed to even share with you guys, but the words that fell out of my mouth sitting right here at this desk was, you are real. Mm-hmm. You are real. And a peace came over me, like nothing ever before. And it changed everything. Because, look, for the longest time, I knew there was a God. I knew there was a lot of things in my life that could not be explained other than there was a God. But taking it from here and putting it here was something that I had some type of a block. I had some type of wall that was there that it just wasn't, the heart and the brain was not communicating. It was not, the wires were crossed somewhere. And when that happened, it was an automatic, the verse, the Matthew 6, was it 20, Matthew 6, 25, Matthew 6, 26, when he's talking about about the birds of the air and about how they do not stow stuff away because God feeds them. And if he will do that for the birds, what will he do? Why would he not do the same thing for you? That immediately rushed to the front of my head. And I put it on my Facebook. And the rest of this week, it was easy. I hate to say easier, but the transition to be able to keep the love on and to do the love languages for the people in my life was almost like it was second nature. Mm-hmm. And we are dealing with some junk with our oldest. We are dealing with some stuff that you want to grab this young man and you want to shake him and maybe throw a couple of headbutts in there, maybe even an elbow or something. And it's been, the T-Rex in me didn't come out. A very loud, assertive communicator came out, but it was
with short arms.
It was not,
but not freakishly short.
But it was not. I went from like I said, I'm kind of like T-Rex in here. I didn't backslide to go back to T-Rex and back here like this. I was not like this.
No, you were kind of.
I was kind of out there like this. And
oh no.
There are times that when I get emotional about something and I get something, look, the Marine Corps comes out in me and I'll let those nasty words slip. And I don't care if you're 13 or 30. And I honestly, and look, we're ripping chest open, right? We're keeping it real. There have been numerous times that I would say to myself, Jason, you need to stop swearing. You need to stop cussing. You need to put that, you are an intelligent human being. You can come up with other words. You have a better vocabulary. You do not have to use those words.
Yep.
And then I think my kids hear myself say that to myself, and they're like, okay.
Challenge accepted.
Welcome to the 2019 Make Daddy Cuss Olympics. And I honestly, I said it to him one time. I said, which one of y'all's in the lead for the gold? Because y'all, and then this book right here made me realize that I can't, even though they're my kids, I cannot control them.
That's a finished one. This is a not finished one.
I cannot. I can set the boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
I can make the consequence. But I cannot grab their little brains and their little brain housing groups and make them make the right decision.
Monkey flipping jerk face.
And I have to look at it as, that doesn't mean I'm a bad father because they made the wrong decision.
Thanks, guys.
It doesn't mean that I'm a bad person because I'm living a bad life because my child made a bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
And that was very, I don't know about my beautiful wife right here, but that was very hard for me. Because I want to be a good dad. And I want to raise my kids so that way they're able to make the right decisions, so that way they have an easier life than I had. I want them to be able to afford the things that I couldn't afford. I want them to be able to experience some things that I couldn't experience. I want them to be able to go to things that I couldn't go to and do the things that I couldn't do. And they're not.
But the thing was,
they're not letting me do that. Is what I want to say, but I know that's not.
But the thing is one thing that this book has kind of taught us is about powerful and powerless people. And what was very empowering was when we were faced with something today. And we kind of had to look at it and go, we are not going to be powerless people about this. We're not.
Right. And, well, one of the things that popped into my head was when the bomb got dropped, not an hour and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
When the bomb got dropped, and I'm talking, this is kind of like a Hiroshima-type bomb that just got dropped in my household. I got up from the table because in my brain, it was saying, you got to walk away or you're not going to be able to keep the love on. Mm-hmm. You got to get away and you got to get to the point where emotion is not in this, because right now it's bubbling up and you are fixing to get your T-Rex on and it's not going to be pretty.
And it's not going to be productive either. And that's what I think has changed, is that you're recognizing that you need to just kind of, you have to recognize that T-Rex is not going to do any good. And that you need to collect yourself until you can be assertive. And so what was nice about that is we were able to look at each other and go, okay, this is not the thing is like, Dee was saying, you have to let them figure out their own, sometimes it's consequences. And, it's one thing we told Blaze and we're now telling Carol is, when you're younger, your consequences, we keep you kind of not completely shielded, but we can help you, deal with consequences when you're younger. Mm-hmm. But when you get older, there are real world consequences that we can't shield you from. And so at that level, at that point, you have to start dealing with your own. Mm-hmm. And this was one of those where we had to stop and go, wait a minute. Not my circus, not my monkey.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's hard when it's your kid.
Yep.
Like, you have to look at them and go, look, I've been telling you for years this was coming. Mm-hmm. And this is not a moment where I want to say I told you so. But
told you so.
Told you so. And that's the problem is they have to learn how to deal, and he's doing well trying to start to deal with, like, he's had a couple of things come up with his college funding and things like that he's had to be assertive and go in and be like, look, you gotta fix this, you gotta get this done, and that's a big step for him. But there are other things that we can't, we're at a point where we cannot drill it in his head anymore. He has to have the real world consequences so that he will either adjust or not and continue to have the same consequences, if not worse. So that was one of those things where, you know, a month ago we'd be out here worrying while we're sitting here talking to you.
Well, one of the things, and you were off getting dinner.
20.
One of the things that I was able to... Our son has run away from God. Plain and simple. He ran away from him.
Long time ago.
And God is trying to get his attention. And I finally... by keeping my love on, I was able to not only counsel my son, but I was also able to have a legitimate conversation to where I was able to ask him, dude, have you asked yourself yet why in the world do I keep making these bad decisions? Why
do I keep finding myself on the wrong end of a situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, because, look, God threw you a bone. And that's how I worded it. On your accident, God threw you a bone. Yeah. Because your little girl
died.
If you both weren't dead, your little girlfriend should be dead, and you should be in prison for vehicular homicide.
Exactly.
You should not be standing in my kitchen right now. And I said, so maybe you need to stop running from him. And I said, and I'll be the first to tell you, a lot of the stuff that we learned about God was not necessarily true. And so you need to, and you know, I left the door open that if you want to talk about it more, I can share with you the sermons that I'm listening to. I left the door open, and this time I felt like the door stayed open. Like he didn't slam it. Because I've tried to talk to him about God in the past.
Let me stop you for half a second. So one of the things, ask him, and she's saying this again, ask him if there's anything that's happened in his life that's eating away at him. So that's how we got to where we're at. We were going, see, because what Blaze's MO has been since he was little is when he would do something wrong that nobody knew about, it would eat away at him, and it would affect how he was doing his chores, his schoolwork, his overall behavior. Every time, it would eat him up with guilt. So we have been having some issues out of him for the last probably month and a half. And we were addressing that today.
Well, and let me interrupt you for a second, because I honestly, it just popped in my head, and I owe you an apology because I forgot to tell you about this. When I knew that there was something eating away at him, I was watching him through that window underneath here, and I think I was Marco Poloing Amy for real at the time, and he was out there with the air gun, the brad nailer, and he was putting up the lap siding. It jammed. It must have jammed on him. He didn't disconnect it or any. He turned it and had it, and it was looking down the thing. And I think I was talking to Amy, and I said, he is looking down the barrel of the nail gun. If I run out that door,
right, you could
and
jump
scream,
him.
I could startle him, and his thumb hits the trigger, and then he has a brad nail between the eyes. And so I had to patiently sit here, and I'm sweating bullets, waiting for him to just turn it away or disconnect the air from it.
Yeah.
And I walk outside, and I'm like, hey, bro.
Do you know what you just did?
Do you know what you just did?
And now, for anybody who doesn't know Blaze, that is not a common... Like, he's normally pretty Johnny on the spot about stuff. Now, he doesn't like to wear... Sometimes we have to get on to him about wearing safety glasses or ear protection, but that's just him being lazy. It's not about...
Well, I mean, he would not wear ear protection and eye protection when he was operating a chainsaw or the table saw, the chop saw, or any of those until I literally started going, that's a $5 fine, $10 fine, $15 fine. And every time I'd catch him not wearing his safety stuff, I would just up the fine.
Yeah.
And then I'd take the money and take Robin out.
Yeah. No, we put the money off to the side for the ER bill that we were probably going to have to pay for.
And I walked outside, and I'm like, bro, do you know
what you just did?
What you just did? I'm putting the siding up. No, bro. Did the gun jam? Yeah, I think it did. And I said, and do you know what you did? He goes, yeah, I said, stop! Because he was like, I was looking down to see if it jammed. And I said,
if it's... the air connected.
The air is still connected. There's no safety on these things. It could have a glitch in it somewhere and just... Because there's been times that I've been using it and go... And then it go... It would double tap. So, and he was like, well, I wasn't thinking about that. I said, you need to come in to the office and we need to talk. And that's when I sat him down and started saying, hey.
Anything going on?
What you got going on in your brain housing group?
And the problem is that a lot of times he doesn't tell us on the first or second or third. It's usually like 5, 6, 7 times later than he'll... And usually it's not that he tells us. It's usually we're like, oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about the symptoms of the problem, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, by the way, boom. And so we were like, and then it was so funny because we looked at each other and we were like, there it is. True to form, we knew something.
Yeah. Something
had his attention. And I wish we could, that's the lesson I really wish I could get him to learn. Is that when he does something like that and he doesn't come clean with it right away, that instead of it maybe messing him up for a couple of days because he's upset about it, now it messes him up for a month or two because of the guilt of it. So
Francine, I would love to steal that.
I would love to stop being SOS. Stuck on stupid. Love it. Yeah. So that's... But anyway, all that to say, normally we would be like, and instead it was, we need to go take a walk. We'll be back in a little bit. Just need to regroup. I'll be back. And in that time is when we were able to look at each other and go, okay, look, first of all, there's a time frame on this. Nothing is going to change between now and that time frame. Mm-hmm. And then 2, This really isn't our monkey. No, it isn't.
You're 20 years
old. You're 20 years old. We're not. We are your parents and we still care about you.
But there is nothing that we can do to save it.
Yeah, no. This is all you.
This is all you. This is out of our control.
Yeah. So you're looking at his love language as well.
Yes, we're looking at his love language. Now, Blaze's love language is time. He wants quality time. And he may have really hosed himself out of that one.
Why?
But, well, I mean, it can go...
Oh, no, yeah, but as far as from you...
No, not from me.
That's not going to change.
No.
20 is still young for a male these days. They're not as mature. Well, on the average, I can agree with that, but our son is not the average 20-year-old. He's still immature as far as some things go, but I think he's about as mature as a 20-year-old was 20 years ago, in my opinion. I don't think he's the typical 20-year-old of today.
I don't know. I'm a very bad judge at this because at 19 and 20, I was already in the Corps. I was already overseas.
Well, I mean, I wasn't much different than you. I was living in my own place, paying my own bills. You know, I mean, I was putting money away. So when I got pregnant with Blaze, I mean, I paid for my own. You know, you and I both were very independent by that age. Yeah. So, yeah, 20 in my day, males were in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that is true, Southern Blessed Homestead, especially in a male. And that's one thing I've always said is that, and I've told my son this a million times, is don't even think about marriage or seriously dating somebody until you're at least 26. You've heard me say that to him before because of that stuff.
Well, you don't like what I tell him on that. I always tell Blaze, and he just kind of, when Robin says that to him, he kind of just like, it's my life, I'm going to do what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And so I come at it from a different point of view, and I'm like, dude, women are like ice cream.
Oh my God, I hate when you tell him this. I mean, it drives me crazy when you tell him
Baskin Robbins, there is hundreds of different
31 flavors is what you tell him.
Yeah, 31 flavors.
And there's nothing, before we even go not family friendly, he doesn't mean the way it sounds. He just means that there are so many different types of women out there that he doesn't have to try each one. Yeah, but a Latina woman, their culture is totally different. An Asian woman, depending on where in Asia, is going to be a totally different culture. Mm-hmm. You know, there's so many different, and even within America itself, you've got German culture.
We raise our kids not to see color, not to see to treat everybody the same. Now, if they treat you and they are like
those Jewish chicks.
If they're mean and nasty to you, then don't have anything to do with them. But don't judge them and don't hate them because of the color or their skin or their religion or their culture or their background whatsoever, because you don't know what type of person you're going to miss out on. Mm-hmm. And so that kind of, it opens up the dating pool for them. And, and so I tell them, go out on different dates.
Excuse me. I'm getting sick, y'all. I'm sorry. I think it's just two. I don't think I have a third one coming.
That is the loudest time I have ever heard you sneeze.
These have been so bad today. I am miserable, y'all. I am
I've never heard you chew that loud.
It hurts. And y'all know I'm trying to fix it. Just saying. You see the red cheeks, and it's not working. I'm sorry, y'all. I normally do not sneeze that loud. I really don't, right? I don't. But it has been a miserable day. It started at 10 o'clock this morning.
One of the things that we, and her I choose, made it to where we kind of like this. We started. I bought Robin a full-sized door that had a bunch of panes in it because she
I probably do.
saw on Pinterest. And by the way, if I ever meet the person that came up with Pinterest,
I'm gonna punch him.
I'm gonna bust you right in the mouth.
Yeah.
It's out of love, but I'm gonna bust you right in the mouth.
Look, I think our guest today was even because you said I found it on Pinterest, and he looked at you and was like, "Really?" Yep.
But Robin saw this thing on Pinterest where somebody took a full-size exterior door that has all the little square
window panes
in them, and they hung it up on a wall, and then they turned it into one big picture frame.
picture collage.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom of it, you put a couple of hooks so you can hang up keys and coats and things like that if you want to.
Dog leashes.
Right. So I kept telling Jason I wanted one of these, and he thought I was crazy. But then I showed him enough pictures of it, and you were like, oh, yeah, I could kind of get down with that. So he found me a door.
What is that psychology term when you start to identify with your captor?
Munchausen's by proxy. That's what it. No, that's not Munchausen's. Oh, that's Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome. That's what that is.
Yeah, Munchausen.
And so I was at the Habitat for Humanity because you guys absolutely know if you've been around with us a while, we love Habitat for Humanity, the resale store. Mm-hmm. Because you can go, you never know what you can go in there and find, and spending the money in there does support a very good cause. Went in there and I found this door. It looks almost stinking brand new.
Yep.
I got it for like $60.
Yeah. The cool thing about that is that they'll let you like talk them down sometimes too. Mm-hmm. Like if it's been sitting there for a while and they need to move it, you can be like, hey, you got this door for sale for $80, but it's been here for like a month. I've been eyeing it for a month, so you want to come down off of it and I'll buy it? Sure.
I don't even feel like that. Excuse me. I tell the guy, I'll give you $60 for it right here, right now.
Done.
Put
it in the truck.
And
so you brought it home.
I got some hinges for it. And Blaze and I hung it up on the wall. Now, it hung up on the wall for about a day and a half before somebody noticed it.
That is not true. Why do you always make me out to be the bad guy?
It's not making you out a bad guy. You didn't say anything about it for like a day and a half.
That's not true. You showed it to me on the pictures and I said something before I even walked in the house. And then I saw it when I got... Okay, whatever. Bruh, stop yawning.
And so we got her to buy some colored construction paper. And we started pulling pictures out today that we were going to put up in there. And some of the pictures that we came across.
There's some really great stories. So that's why I wanted to do this, is because it's one thing to like make all these, all these eclectic, because I see people like they get all these different photo frames and they're just all over the place. And I like to be a little bit more neat and organized than that. So I thought that this door idea was an excellent idea because you have like all of these panes. I mean, there's a lot of room to put pictures in. And so I really am excited because we're able to dig back and look through all these pictures and have all these great stories.
Well, we got a picture of Blaze when he was 5. Mm-hmm. And I caught an otter during trapping season. Mm-hmm. And he's standing there with me. And he had this big doo-doo cheese on his face where you could tell I was his hero. Mm-hmm. I was his hero. And I was like, oh, I miss that time.
D, you better be taking it easy. Don't make me get in the car and come to Louisiana. Anyway, so...
Yeah, like that's going to slow her down. She's going to purposely do
something. I know. I probably should have rethought that threat. But...
Carol hugging a chicken.
Yeah, it makes me think of turkeys.
The girls playing with each other in their...
okay.
pajamas that were the same.
We have a picture. I haven't printed it out yet, but we have a picture of Blaze in a pink Superman cape, trying to make his girls, making his sisters laugh and make them happy. We've got, the picture we've told most of y'all about with Carol painting the wall pink. So we have a picture of her standing in the sink with pink in her hair, pink all over her body, her clothes everywhere. So we have that picture. We have a lot of really fun pictures. And so I'm really looking forward to being able to kind of piecemeal that all together and make it cool. So that when people come in, like, they can just kind of look at that and it just tells the story,
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Lots of fun. Yeah. We have a picture of the girl. It was funny. I was going through some of my pictures on Facebook. Because, see, that's what happens. Like,
no, don't make Blaze any cheesecake.
When we were, when Blaze was born, there was no social media. There was no, there wasn't even smartphones really at the time.
MySpace was just coming out.
All your pictures, you printed them out and put them in photo albums. So I have like 2 photo albums slapped full of pictures of Blaze when he was a baby. Now, granted, it does happen that when you get to the second child and the third child, the pictures kind of, taper off a little bit. That's just common. It happens a lot. But with Carol, when Carol happened, we started getting phones that take pictures. And you could store them. You didn't have to print them out. And so what we found is that with Carol, we started seeing the pictures. They were all over our Facebook and, and on Google Drives and things like that. And we didn't have them printed out. Because at first, Jason was like looking at all the pictures and he's like,
we are
nothing but
parents.
He was like, we are lousy parents. He's like, we have nothing but pictures of Blaze and that's it. And I was like, no, that's not true. And he's like, well, where are they? I was like, they're just not printed out. We have hundreds, probably thousands of pictures. And so what we did is Jason's parents came into town. And so I called, his mom was out at Walmart. And I said, hey, can you pick up some photo paper? So she picked up some photo paper and we started printing out some of these pictures. And we have some that are fairly recent. There was a really cute picture of when Jason and LaDessa were out hunting this past year. They were sitting in a tree right before they're live and took a picture. And so I had that and printed that one out. And it was cute. We have, when Blaze was still doing homeschool, 1 week they had Spirit Week in town. And my kids noticed it. And so they asked Jason if we could do Spirit Week at the house. And one of the days was
Crazy Hair Day.
And so I have a picture of Blaze and the girls with their hair all kind of messed up and
dyed and
different hair bows and clips and all that stuff. So that's the thing.
And who invented glitter?
I don't know, but it's the herpes of the craft world. Like, you're never getting rid of it. Once you open it, it's never going to be gone completely. I'm just saying. It's 9 o'clock. I'm allowed to say that.
I was not expecting that.
No. It's the herpes of the craft world. Like, if you were to say something about the craft world, that would be glitter. It's the thing that you can never get rid of.
Cool.
That and Play-Doh, yep. The gift that keeps on giving. That's another way to say it. So anyway, so we have pictures of that. We have, we have quite a few. And what I think is really cool is that, yes, you can share. That'd be great. Is that we have... One of the things we have thought, though, is that we seriously need to start... One thing I noticed is we really need to start getting our friends to take pictures of us as a family. Because what happens is a lot of times Jason is taking pictures of me with the girls or me with Blaze or whatever, and then I'll be in picture, or Jason will be in pictures with the girls and Blaze, and I'm taking the picture. So we don't have a lot of all 5 of us, all 4 of us, whatever,
we don't have
together.
A lot of just me and you.
No. Mm-mm. So that's the thing, is like we just don't have a lot of that. So that's the kind of stuff that we need to kind of emphasize on. We're great parents. We take plenty of pictures of our kids. And if we don't, they do. they fill up our phones with selfies. So we have plenty of pictures of our kids. We just don't have a lot for... We beat you, Jason.
9. Now it's 9. We got to work on your poker face.
I know. I don't play poker. Look,
Good
I'm
night,
a true
Francine.
believer that laughter is the absolute best medicine.
Not when you're in a competition.
Nope, I don't care. The other day when
Stonewall!
I was with customers the other day, and I was talking to them about something, and we were just dying laughing, having a grand old time. And one of his customers, or potential customers, came in, and she was like, I've heard a lot about you. Of course, she's talking to my customer. She said, but if you can have this much laughter in your place of business, I want to do business with you. And he looked at me and he's like, I'm buying some slabs from you this week. I was like, you're welcome. Because I laugh, like when I laugh, it's loud. It's not a, like it is a soul-bearing laugh, because I am one of those go big or go home kind of people when it comes to laughing. I'm going to let it out. So, alright, it's 9:15. I think we got some chicken wings with our names on them.
Yep, got some chicken wings.
One last thing, I don't know if everybody that was asking is in here. Somebody asked me how much I was going to charge for these shawls. Think I'm going to test and see how $25 works. I think I'm going to charge $25 and see how that goes. If anybody have any feedback on that, I'd appreciate it.
So, you know what I think you should do?
What?
And this is just me.
Oh, yeah. Daryl needs a spelling for the sign that you need. I forgot about that. We're leaving Tuesday night.
Okay. And I want y'all's opinion about this. Okay? I think, Robin, because you're making a shawl, right? Mm-hmm. I think you should pair up with Josh, because he's now making blades. Okay? And you can make a little pocket to put a little tiny blade in there, and then it can become a Shawshank.
Oh my god. That was like the worst dad joke ever. Worst dad joke. Like, and I can't believe I didn't see that coming from like a mile away.
Shawshank.
Yeah, Jason, it's not a shaw, it's a shawl. Anyway, so, yeah. So, is that a see-through kilt for Jason? No. He'll be the only one laughing. By worst, you mean best. Don't do that.
See, my boy got it. Just like, okay, here's another one, and then we'll go for the evening. What do you get when you burn dinosaur bones?
I am apologizing now. This is the worst joke.
What do you get when you burn dinosaur bones? Fossil fuel.
I don't. Yeah, decaffeinated. What do you get when a cow had a calf? Decaffeinated. Jerk duty. Oh, goodness. I saw one today that Meyer posted on Instagram, and it was something. He stole Abby's joke. How long's Abby been telling that joke? Because he's been telling it for a long time.
I got that out of Boys Life magazine.
Yeah.
I'll tell you exactly where I got that one from.
Robin, are you bringing any Scobies with you to the HOA? Brenda, you tell me you want one, I'll bring one. I wasn't planning on it, but if you want one, I will make sure that Carol puts one in a Ziploc and we'll bring it to you. Speaking of that, real quick, so Carol's been working with some second fermentations on some kombucha, and today she uncapped one that she had put lemon in, and lemon kombucha, and let me tell you, it was good.
Because you put a little boogie in it.
Yeah, it had a little boogie in it. I wish I had. You don't have your phone on you either. The only thing I remember is, I don't remember the question, but it said a chicken seesaw salad, Caesar salad, like seesaw salad. So you had to read it fast, but it was funny. Still got my SCOBY from you. It's going strong. Yay!
My favorite ones are,
So I need two. One for Sherry and one for Brenda.
What do you call a man with no arms and no legs out in the middle of the ocean? Bob.
So bad.
Call a man with no arms and no legs in a hole.
Phil.
You call a man with no arms and no legs at your front door.
Matt.
Hanging on the wall.
Art. That's it. What do you call a chicken looking at lettuce? Chicken sees a salad. That's it. That was so funny. I was dying with that one.
How come fossil fuel's not funny?
Probably because they had this really like rudimentary picture with it too. So it was just a little chicken like looking at a head of lettuce. It was just funny.
In a pile of leaves.
Russell. That's funny.
Getting drug behind a truck. Skip.
Drug behind a truck. Skip. Mm-hmm.
Just like, what do you call a dog with no legs?
Doesn't matter what you call him.
He ain't coming. He ain't coming. What do you call a cow with 2 legs?
Lean beef. Mm-hmm. No legs, ground beef.
Mm-hmm. What do you call a woman with only 1 leg?
Stop, Eileen.
What do you call a Chinese? What do you call a Chinese woman with 1 leg? Irene.
So bad. Anyway, okay, it's really, like, you would think he's been drinking what I've got in my cup, but how do you tell an ant's gender? Throw it in the water. I don't get it. Throw it in the water. Sinks, it's a girl ant. Buoyant. Look, that gets you 2 points. That was a good one. You know what the worst part is? All I could hear in my head was, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant.
That's what happens when Pink Panther steps on an ant.
I know. I was like, I couldn't get that out of my head to even think. And like, if you watch the replay later, you'll see my brain is like, I'm like, I don't get it. No. But buoyant, that's pretty funny.
That took you a long time to get it.
I didn't get it. I had to read it. I did not get it. Oh my goodness. Amy, I really wish y'all were coming to Virginia. Man. I'm really looking forward. We're going to get to see a lot of people at HOE, but I'm really, like, we're planning, and I'm like, saying this. I think next year, instead of doing, and we've talked about this a teeny bit, instead of doing conferences per se, I think we're going to set aside a little bit of time to be able to go see a few people or a few areas that we would like to see. And yes, and Louisiana is like number 1 on the list. Louisiana is going to be like top priority. And then we're talking about going out to Montana because we think that would be really cool. So, You two are always together because one of you is too ugly to kiss goodbye. What? Whatever. Me. I'm next to Louisiana. So my, I have family that live out there, and I might as well, Dee's family. So, you know, so, what?
Nothing.
So we've got plenty of family that we need to visit out in Louisiana. So that's
in Mississippi.
In Mississippi, yeah. So we're definitely, that's like a number one priority for next year. Even if, you know, some of these conferences don't happen, we're definitely gonna.
Well, we're definitely going to the Bayou Bash.
Right.
Yep.
So.
And more than likely, we're definitely going to the Shindig.
I'm not sure about that one yet. It's gotta be timing. It really has to be about timing. So, Jason, does she turn her plate till the food looks balanced? I'm a weirdo.
Yes.
But some of the meetups are trying to be more like conferences. Yeah, but, and the thing is like, I'm really kind of getting conferenced out. Like, I don't mind selling my stuff and things like that. But, like, it's like today, we had a fellow YouTuber come, you know, bless us with their presence, and I'm not being facetious, like, it was really a blessing that they were here, but cameras did not come out. Like, they were getting ready to leave, and they're like, well, crap, we need to do something real quick, and I'm like, whatever, but I'm not pulling anything out. If you want to film something, that's fine, but that is not what we're about. When we have people come visit or we go to visit people, filming is the farthest from our minds. So we're definitely, you know, there's a lot of places. And, you know, and don't get me wrong, these conferences we went to this year, it definitely gave us a chance. What I really liked about it is it gave us a chance to expose our daughters to some totally different parts of the country that we have not.
Well, here's the thing. We're not, I think you're speaking a little prematurely. We're not writing off all. We're just not going to do as much traveling in 2020 as we did in 2019.
I disagree. I don't think necessarily. I don't. I think we may put as many miles behind us next year as we do this year. Think about how far Louisiana is. Yeah, I think we will. Saying.
In a way.
Yeah, we need a camper.
Well, to Louisiana, we're taking a train.
Okay.
Dude, that's the only way I'm going.
Okay. Yeah, it's 13 hours just to Louisiana. And, you know, and...
I'm not going to Louisiana unless I can get my big fat white hiney on a train and let them take care of it so I can eat some of that good food that's on Amtrak and... do my thing.
See, and that's the other one. We've been invited to go to Montana in September as well. So that's another one. Is like, you know. So there's a lot of there's a lot of things, a lot of planning that. Is it 13? I might be wrong. I don't know. It's just, I'll pick you up at the station. Wait, there are trains? April, you need to check them out because you're not far from stations. Like, Atlanta has a pretty big hub, and there is what they call the Crescent route, and it goes all the way up to New York and goes all the way down to New Orleans. And there's a lot of fun between New Orleans and New York, just saying. So you could hop on that and go whichever way you want. And we're probably, you know, we'll probably one year, instead of going Louisiana way, go up New York way. I think that would be fun. So yeah, but the Amtrak train is, I mean, now granted, it's been 10 years since we've been on one, but I don't imagine it's changed much.
I looked at the price, and for us to go to the station, we're around, I think it's right around where Dee and Broussard is. For that car, for all of us, round trip, again, was only like $826.
Okay. So, I mean, the other thing is
we
there's not
that in rental car.
There's not nearly that much stress in Because the great thing is you get on the train and you're done.
Yeah.
You know, you just ride. And if you do it right, you get a room that has bunk beds and a chair, a couple chairs in it.
And the shower.
It's got a shower.
Make sure you got to take a shower on a train.
And you just chill for 12 hours. Mm-hmm. And they give you meals. And so then you can break up. Yeah, they have drinks. And you can go into the main cabin where you can play cards or do whatever for 12 hours. You don't have to worry about falling asleep at the wheel. You don't have to stop for pee breaks, you know. And if you catch a train conductor that is racing to go meet his girlfriend, sometimes it takes a lot less than 12 hours.
Yep. You're flat getting it.
So, you know, so that's one thing. Like, if we're going to do it, that's exactly how we do it. Because you're right. When you put it all together and you think about the rental car and the gas, mm-hmm. you're already very close to
Just
that.
like when we go to Montana in September, there may be a train that we take to a certain point. We get off at the hub, and then we get on the next one, and it goes that way.
We'll have to look into that one. I don't know when you get that far west. I'm not sure, but sitting too long, really, yeah. Well, and that's the other thing that's really nice about this train is you can get up and go move around. You can go into the cars to eat. They have a snack area where you can buy snacks. They have the area where they've got decks of cards and like Uno cards and board games, and so I mean, there's
even if you did coach, you can still get up, go to the dining car, the game room car, and stuff like that, and it's really cool. Mm-hmm. You know, and coach is a whole lot cheaper. Yeah. The reason why I say that we have to get one of the little car rooms is because of the girls, and the train will rock you to sleep. Plain and simple, will rock you to sleep. Mm-hmm. So, but we'll talk about that as it gets closer. We've been on for almost an hour and a half tonight. We got some chicken wings calling our names. So, guys, Robin and I want to thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us tonight and fellowshipping with us and sharing with us. And, you know, we had a wonderful time keeping things real and sharing with you guys what we have going on here. We are trying to figure out a good schedule that we can do consistently with putting out videos for y'all. It's not that we've given up and we're only doing live streams. We're trying to figure out the system to be able to put out the videos and they be good quality videos. We have a big announcement coming New Year's Eve. If you haven't been up with a lot of our other social medias, especially on Instagram, Robin's always hashtagging Big Plans 2020. Come New Year's Eve, we're going to be dropping a big bomb. And it's going to be a little kind of like a documentary video that we're going to premiere. So we're going to be in the live. It'll be like the whole premiere video. There'll be a live chat and everything going on with it. And so we're trying to... Right now, we're taking this time to, 1, prepare for that, and 2, to be able to figure out how we're going to be able to put videos out while we're doing that next year. And so that's we're molding all of that. And so we appreciate y'all being patient with us and
sticking with us. Keep
watching them older videos and enjoying the laugh. And we're going to try to get some vlogs out and stuff. But, you know, this week coming is HOA, so looking forward to seeing everybody there. Mm-hmm. And Robin and I want to remind you guys to plant smiles,
grow giggles,
and harvest the love. Harvest the love. Be kind to one another. You never know what people are going through, and so be kind to one another. Mm-hmm. Remember to recycle, reuse, repurpose, keep stuff out of the landfill, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.